All right, y'all. So I don't know if you saw this or not. Kirk Franklin, he posted a pretty lengthy video on his Instagram. I haven't watched the video yet. I was waiting to watch it like in real time with all of y'all. So I'm assuming that this is in some response to some of the backlash that he and Maverick City were getting for their performance at the Grammys and everything like that. I'm assuming. I really don't know. But anyway, let's get into this. But before we get into this, consider becoming a member if you want to support our work directly, if you want to help us become independent from not having to rely on these platforms to continue this ministry and continue to try to and build this media organization that we're striving to build, then you can become a member. The link is down below in the description. I don't know why I said it like that. All right, let's get into it.
All right, man. Thank you, man.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. You're welcome.
This is water, it's not beer.
Why he look so stressed?
What's up, everyone? Thank you all for coming in.
Thank you.
Shh. All right, thank you all for coming in. Sorry about that.
He looked like he about to pop somebody. The way he turned around, like, you don't see I'm recording a video?
I wanted to come on here, man, and first of all, thank y'all for jumping on here with me. And I'm still in Los Angeles. We were here last night for the Grammy Awards, and you know, very, very, very grateful, you know, for the night, but still, you know, had some things that were heavy on my heart, some things I wanted to be able to share with y'all, some things I wanted to discuss and to communicate. I love gospel music. It's the only genre I've ever wanted to do. I've never wanted to do any other genre of music but gospel music. I love the community. I'm grateful that I've been able to be a part of this incredible community now for over 30 years. My first album, this summer, will be 30 years old. While We Sing turns 30 this June. And so being around the genre, you know, I have seen it grow. I've seen it be an infant. I've seen it, you know, stumble. I've seen it have many moments. You know, I started out when I was 23. I'm 53. And last night, to be there and to, you know, have the opportunity, you know, to do music with Maverick City and to do this joint album that we did together, and, you know, was nominated in the categories, and you know, and it was a, you know, it was a kind night, you know, it was a kind night, and it was also for me a very challenging thing to be able to think through when I think about just the state of this community that I love. And it came to me very strongly when I was at the main show and I was watching the tribute to hip hop and hip hop turning 50, and watching the energy in the room And the truth is, what I even saw there is like there's no other genre on this planet that could have gotten that whole arena up on their feet rocking like that. I mean, you could have, last night you should have been in the building. No matter what race you were, no matter what genre of music you love, black music, hip hop music had everybody in the room up on their feet. When Public Enemy came through the door, when LL Cool J stepped on stage, when Salt and Pepper stepped on stage, when Queen Latifah came out, when Rakim came out, it was just a moment. And so what I thought to myself was, I felt sad for the genre that I'm in. It's because gospel music is the foundation of Americana. It is gospel, blues, and jazz are the original sounds of American music. And gospel, blues, and jazz, when was the last time you bought a jazz album? When's the last time you bought a blues album? And slowly, this conversation about a genre of music that has, and the difficulty with gospel music has inspired so many people that we see and experience now. Chris Brown sang in the kids' choir. I mean, Usher sang in the kids' choir. Justin Timberlake sang in the choir. Mariah sang in the choir. Pharrell was inspired by, music at his Pentecostal family's church. Timbaland. I mean, so you have all of this experience coming from black gospel music, but yet there's this disconnect that I can be honest and tell you that's breaking my heart. We used to have Bobby Jones. You could see your favorite gospel artist on Bobby Jones. You could see your favorite gospel artist on Celebration of Gospel. And, you could see your favorite gospel artists in different outlets. And now because the world has changed, it's not just the music, it's the world has no longer as much of an interest in the conversation we're having. And so when you have fewer doors, you begin to have more tension within the community. It's because there's fewer outlets. And I am clear on this. Oh, Sunday Best. We used to have Sunday Best. I am clear on this, and I want you to know that I'm going to say this right now. I am clear on this. There are Grammys that I have won that I did not deserve. There are Grammys in my career that I have won. There are Stella Awards that I have won. There are Dove Awards that I have won. That the only reason why I won is because of the amount of time I've been around. I'm clear on that. I am clear on that. It is not because I have had the better records. It's just now, after 30 years, some people...
I'm not exactly sure where he's going with this. Maybe he's gonna flip it and talk about, because he kind of was talking about it, how there's not a lot of outlets, Christian outlets, and opportunities in order to showcase gospel and worship music. I thought he was gonna use that as a way to say, well, that's why we were there. That's why we performed with Quavo. That's why we were a part of the show and stuff like that. And look, I have my own opinion. I'm going to share my opinion at some point in this video, but I just had to pause it because this is my first time watching it. I don't know exactly where he's going with this conversation.
They just know my name and they'll see your name, and I'm letting you know that's not fair. That's not fair to the community. That's not fair to the artists. Now, and I'm not speaking of that last night. That's not what I'm speaking of. I'm speaking of, it's because last night I was with Maverick City, and Maverick City, God is blessing them. But there are other people that need to be blessed, and other people that need to be highlighted, and other people that need to be shown love.
I think that's a fact. There was a couple people nominated. Phil Wickham, for example. I've been getting very blessed by Phil Wickham's music recently, and he was nominated for a couple Grammys. But in the back of my head, I'm like, bro, Maverick City, for whatever reason, and they're talented, and I made a whole video about this. They're talented. I do believe God is blessing them and is giving them a platform, but they just cleaning up. All the awards, all the Grammys, they're just cleaning up right now. So I agree with him. There are other people that deserve recognition, but I don't look at the Grammys to tell me, you know, who I should be recognizing and who deserves to be blessed and you know, who is anointed. I don't look at the Grammys to tell me that. But at the same time, I understand what he's saying. But once again, I don't know where he's going with this, but we'll just keep listening.
And unfortunately, we don't have those hip hop moments like last night. I mean, think about it. Hip hop had a moment at the Grammys. Hip hop has a moment at the AMAs, American Music Awards. Hip hop has a moment, of course, at the BET Awards. Hip hop, it's like other genres and other styles of black music have moments, but gospel music is now limited to just fewer and fewer moments. And now the people that are doing it and doing it well, you may not even know them because they're just few doors. And then again, it creates discouragement and tension within my community.
Well, hold on. He said it himself. He's been in this industry for how many years? Like 3 decades. I think there's enough people in this industry within the gospel genre or the worship genre, whatever you want to call it. There's enough people where we could just create our own thing. We don't have to rely on another secular platform in order to give us recognition or to give us a celebration, just like how they celebrated hip hop. I'm sure Kirk Franklin is connected enough to where he has enough people that he has connections to that, you know, they could try to create their own thing and not have to rely on the Grammys in order to give them that thing. I don't know. I'm just talking at this point.
So this is what I wanted to do, man, is I wanted to take a minute to tell you that there are people last night that were nominated in those categories that you may not have ever heard. There are people that follow me that may not listen to gospel music. They may only know me is because they play Melodies from Heaven in the club. Maybe the only reason why you know me. You know what I'm saying? You know, you heard Melodies from Heaven, you know, when you was Sunday morning at brunch and rain down on me, you know, and you was with your girls and y'all was, you know, looking cute.
That was a little zesty, Kirk, but let's continue.
And I appreciate that. But to whom much is given,
much is required.
much is required.
Mm-hmm.
So last night, since we didn't get a chance to have our 50th anniversary of hip hop and celebrate those that are in the genre, I decided that I'm going to do it now. See, this is not what you thought it was going to be. I don't have time to talk about other artists that performed last night and respond to some people's bibliocentric views about should Christians be at places that we not listen to the gospel. I don't have time to do that. I have no time to give you any theological arguments because we've been having theological arguments for millennia and have not been able to find resolve. We haven't even found resolve for racial tensions in the church. So how in the world are we going to be able to resolve who should be at what? How should we represent Christ in these secular platforms? It ain't gonna happen on this live. It's because there are too many doctrines and there's too many systems of beliefs that people have, too many philosophical ideas that are not even bibliocentric. They just your own convictions. They're your own feelings that you super spiritualize. And so I'm not gonna do that. I'm not going to do about should Christians be here, should Christians not be there, should Christians wear pants, should Christians wear makeup, you know, should we worship on the Sabbath, can gay people go to church or not? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to preach love and grace, and I'm going to allow God to be big enough that he's going to be able to separate the wheat from the tare. That's what I'm going to do. But what I am going to do is I'm going to celebrate people that you maybe didn't get a chance to know were nominated in the categories.
I wish he would talk about it though. I'm curious. I am not the person that you should be looking to if you want a theological, like 100% theological grounded response 100% of the time. Like I am still learning just like you are still learning. I'm still walking this out just like you are still walking this out. I'm still learning new things every single day about the Bible. But it would be nice, as somebody who has the status and has the platform of a Kirk Franklin, to address these situations, because these are things that the community wants to hear about. And I don't know if there's like, obviously there's probably a pressure that he feels to be quote unquote right. And like he said, to be biblical 100% of the time. But I would just like to know just how you feel about the situation. But kind of his response kind of already indicates to us how he feels about it, which is they gonna do what they gonna do regardless of what you think, I think, of whoever thinks. They're gonna move, they're gonna operate however they see fit regardless. And that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from it. But let's see what else he's doing. I think he's recognizing some other artists. Let's see what he's doing.
Last night, there was a young lady nominated in a category. Her name is Miranda Curtis. I want you to go support her music because Miranda is an incredible voice. Miranda can sing. If you have not heard of Miranda, she is phenomenal, and she's a beautiful talent and a beautiful soul. I want you to support Miranda Curtis. Miranda Curtis, get her music. I want to support right now a young lady that is new to the game that I need for you guys to know. I believe she got next. Her name is Doe. Doe is incredible. Doe is a cold artist. Wow, man, I just got a text from Bishop Jakes. Wow, that's dope.
What's it
I
say?
gotta hit him back. Bishop T.D. Jakes, salute King.
What's it say?
Wow, the Bishop T.D. Jakes.
What's it say?
Doe, is I need for y'all to support Doe. She plays guitar, she plays piano, she's beautiful, she's young, and she can sing. This girl is bad, and Jonathan McReynolds did her album. So if you know Jonathan got a part to do in it, you know it's gonna be fire, because Jonathan McReynolds is fire. All right, support Doe. I also want to support last night some other people that you may not have heard of, or you may have heard of them. Is I want to support, first of all, another young lady that was in the category that is a legend in the game. You remember her from Mary Mary? I need for y'all to blow up the solo career of Erica Campbell. Let me tell you something about Erica Campbell, man. Erica Campbell is a voice that is needed in our genre. She's articulate. She knows how to communicate the faith.
Okay, this is not the video that I thought it was going to be. I thought he was just going to address exactly what everyone's been talking about, which you know what that is. I thought he was going to address that. But he kind of did, kind of didn't. But now it's turning into like all right, these are the people who I want to recognize. I like it. It's cool. It's fine. I mean, I think it probably would have been cool to recognize them at the Grammys, like during the speech or something like that. But you know, you get into the moment, and a lot of things that you want to say kind of go out the window. So I understand that. But let's just continue watching this just for the sake of what he has to say.
She knows how to be able to present herself. She's so smart. She's so brilliant. And she's such a class act. And she can show enough sing. You guys remember the Mary Mary records? I'm letting you know Erica Campbell has solo music out. I need for you to support Erica Campbell's music. She is ice cream cold, and she is needed. The culture needs Erica Campbell. Support Erica Campbell.
Ice cream
I want to
cold.
support the legend that was in the building last night that was nominated. I want to support Ricky Dillon. Ricky Dillon should have won last night. Ricky Dillon should have been on that stage last night.
All right, I'm all about bigging up the Christian community and recognizing them, but this is not the video I thought it was going to be. So I apologize for that. I'll hold that L. I apologize. You know, it kind of, look, I understand what Kirk's trying to do. It kind of gives the vibe of like, if I'm in the room, I'm going to take all the awards. So let me just address these people because they deserve recognition. But when I step in the room, y'all already know I'm going to take all the awards. So like, that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong, but that's just kind of the vibe that I'm getting from this. But anyway, y'all, I wonder if let me see. Does he have anything else? Maybe he did. Maybe he addressed it. Hold on. Let me turn this one on real quick. Hold on. I want to see if he actually addressed like what I was hoping for him to address. What's this?
All right, King.
Okay, he's just promoting his show, Kingdom Business. Never seen the show before. Anyway, I guess that's all we're gonna hear about Kirk Franklin's take of what happened. I'm curious to know. I saw Dante was in the not Dante. I saw Chandler was in the comments. Did he say anything about it? No, he ain't say nothing. All right, y'all. So there it is. Like I said, going back to the original conversation that I thought that he was going to be addressing, which was, you know, Christians being in the same spaces in terms of like Maverick City performing at the Grammys with Quavo and them being in the audience, you know, with the Sam Smith performance and stuff like that. And all that kind of stuff. I already addressed this, so if you want to watch that video, go ahead and watch that video. But I will say this one thing in closing. I think sometimes we put too much, I don't know if pressure is the right word, but we expect these people to like be our pastors or something like that. Like we expect these like, you know, musical artists to like give us like spiritual, you know, like a pastor would give us. I don't know why I'm struggling to say it, but like we look at these people like they're teachers. We look at these musicians sometimes, these worship leaders and these artists like they're teachers. They're not teachers. They're not pastors. I understand we might feel some sort of way about seeing them on the stage with Quavo. We might feel some sort of way about them being in a secular space like the Grammys. But bro, what do you want them to do? And I've been critical of Maverick City before. I've countless times. Go back in my channel and look. But I'm just thinking, like, in this situation, what do you want them to do? We say we want our Christian artists and in, you know, gospel and worship music, we say that we want that to be successful, but then when it becomes successful, then we have a problem with it. Because that means when they become successful, that now they're mainstream. But we wanted them to be successful. So do we want them to be successful or do we not want them to be successful? Because if we do want them to succeed, then these are the doors, these are the rooms that they're going to be in. But like I said, just like when the Pharisees were talking to the disciples and they said, hey, how come Jesus is over there hanging out with them tax collectors? How come he's having dinner with, you know, scum? How come he's with those sinners? Jesus hung out with sinners and scum, you know, as the Pharisees said as well. But the difference is Jesus never compromised. He never fell into sin. He never gave in to temptation based on the crowd that he was hanging out with. He always remained 100% himself. He always remained 100% holy. I don't think there's a problem with Christians, you know, specifically Maverick City, being at the Grammys and performing with Quavo and stuff like that. I don't think that's a problem. I think the problem is if they start to compromise their beliefs and compromise their faith and compromise the Bible in order to fit in with the world. And they start to draw their faith and draw the recognition and put the trophies above their relationship with God. If that makes sense. I think that's when it becomes a problem. But I think a lot of us are just assuming that that's happening without actually knowing the behind the scenes, the behind closed doors of what is actually going on. And like I said, I've been critical of them in the past. I have no problem calling something out. I think a lot of people's reaction to this is an overreaction, in my opinion. But if you want my full response, I'll link the video that I talked about yesterday if y'all want to watch that. Anyway, y'all, I'm out.